what's going on.
Right. Welcome to 2025.
Ching, ching. Crazy.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. We had the best intentions on getting this episode recorded prior to the first of the year,
And we tried. We did.
but
We tried.
that it's the way it always goes, isn't it? So
Yeah.
we were going to excuse me, we were going to do a year-end wrap-up episode for 2024, which we're still going to do, but we're in 2025 now, so oh well.
So here we are. Ching ching. You get it now. You get us now.
This is the 2025 wrap down.
Here you
You,
go.
you can't wrap it up yet. You're
Nope.
wrapping it down.
We're wrapping it down. So that means
That's
we're going to be
right.
letting you know what we're about to get into. We're going to be letting you know some of the new things that's coming about with this network that we are on.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it. I know Nate has been doing some great things. I'm sure he's going to share those with you. But yeah, we got a pretty good, exciting year planned out or season planned out for everyone. I'm excited to see what you think, Nate.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm going to look something up real quick, so we can just
Well, in the meantime, while he's doing
yeah,
that,
do that.
let me let you know that you can always buy us a coffee. Um, you can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We're everywhere. So please just, support us, pass it on. Hey, if you want to have something, you may want to drop us a line, send us something that you may have an idea about. Hey, send it our way. We
That's
are
right.
we are open book here. We are trying to establish something that's we can just open it up and share it with everybody. And we definitely want you guys to be a part of
So I was just looking back at
it.
the history of the show, and I had a hunch about something, and I just wanted to make sure it was true before I said it. And it is true. So our first official episode aired on January 3rd, 2024.
Are you serious? So
And
that's why we couldn't record last week, you know?
that's right.
That's why we
And
couldn't record last
yep,
week.
today is January 3rd, 2025.
Well,
So
we might as well make it a habit now. It seems like it just
that's
happened by chance. It's, January 2026. Who knows?
yeah, and hopefully that won't be the only date that we ever
Yeah, that
publish
part too.
something.
We're gonna try to do better. We're gonna try to do better this year. We're gonna try to do better this year. Hey, some people just give up altogether. At least we're back.
That's right. Yeah,
So
it's just been it's been a fun process figuring out what works. Um, and we've said in previous episodes that when we started this, both of us were kind of starving for some creative outlet, just wanting something we could have in our lives that allowed us to be creative, allowed us to put something out that we were proud of. And and this has certainly been that. But as life tends to do, things happen. People get busy. Um, you were um, with your YouTube show. It was still kind of in its infancy.
oh, absolutely. And also, don't forget, this was my first time I performed post COVID. So
Oh, that's right.
definitely got to let you know how that went. That was my first outside DJing performance post COVID, which was interesting. But yeah,
Ooh,
definitely get into that too. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Just things just happen.
yep. I officially started a band in February of last year, and that's kind of taken off. So that has required some attention, and of course, both of us having full-time jobs and all that kind of stuff. So when we started this, um, it's probably fair to say we were a little more gung ho about it because we had the time and we were just being dreamers about the potential and all this stuff that we wanted to do, and it just sounded like so much fun, and it has been so much fun. But again, with life creeping in and responsibilities taking over, and um, things that need to be done to pay the bills, it
Takes
what
precedence.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's hard to balance all of that. I mean, not saying we can't, because we're trying to find a way. And like I said, a lot of people has given up, but this is passion for us.
Yeah.
So, to be honest with you guys, we could you may not hear from us for a minute and we'll pop back up. I mean, we're just
Right.
this is what we like to do, but we are going to try to be a little bit more consistent. But again, we have other goals and have other things
Yeah.
that we have to take care of. So,
Well,
sometimes that calls, but we get to it.
and also the good thing is, this podcast journey has kind of spawned other things, other ideas,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
has forced us to kind of think outside the box. And I'm sure we've said in previous episodes that the goal has always been to for you and I to do something together, something musical, something creative. But we've learned throughout this process that doing it together doesn't necessarily mean like what's happening right now. We
Yep.
don't always have to be on an episode at the same time, because each of us have come up with some ideas and some things that we want to tackle that necessarily don't require the other person. But doing this under the Echospective umbrella, you and I are still doing this together. This is a joint venture. This is a passion that we both have and we both share, and we're both pouring into this thing. And I think maybe even subconsciously, we've kind of held ourselves back by going, oh, well, if we can't jump on a podcast episode together, we're just not going to do anything.
Right.
Um, and you and I talked a couple weeks ago, and we were like, just because that doesn't happen doesn't mean we aren't reaching the overall goal. Um, so Marquise, let's what are some of the things that um, you are going to be bringing to the table this year?
Uh, let's see. Where do I want to start? Well, for one thing,
Yeah, for
one
once, you're
thing,
going to do something.
for once, I'm going to do something in my life, and I'm going to beat the odds.
There we go.
No, um, I am going to come with a little bit more interviews. In my genre, which is Christian hip hop, basically. Um, I DJ all genres, but Christian hip hop is what my life is. It's my journey. It's my mission. It's my ministry.
Yeah,
And I want to bring a little bit to light on the side of where it's normally not. You know, Get a little bit more information about what goes on in that type of life, so to speak. So I'm gonna be talking to different people, artists, and producers, and maybe just people in that field.
yeah,
I'm also just gonna be thinking about this day in music, revamping that, working on that, because I know you guys
yeah,
love that so much. So yes, definitely, there's going to be a new platform or a new format of this day in music coming. It's going to be crazy. So I mean, that's just where I'm starting. Um, and I know you have some stuff too, but I'm starting there. I think that's going to be my limit to where I feel like I can manage that.
yeah,
I wanted to do more interviews, but again, like you said earlier, time just was like when you dealing with other people, you dealing with their
yeah,
schedules,
yeah.
and you're trying to
It's
fit
not
in
just
it.
yours that you have
Yeah,
to
it's
figure
not
out.
just yours. So I think I got a pretty good grasp on it now to where I've set up different avenues to where I can probably set aside some time now to where I can, get those interviews that I want. So I'm definitely going to be focused on getting more interviews. Not just that too, just I just want to talk to people that have something to say,
Yeah,
and have something, you know, interesting to say. And because we don't get that. Everything now, is TikTok related, and it's just I just want to dive in deep with
yep.
that.
Yeah.
so to speak. So that's just one thing. It's definitely music thing. I got some music ideas that I've already, been working on, just trying to figure everything out. Um, so, but with that though, I mean, just growing with that, man. What do you think?
Yeah. And and I think individually we've had moments where one of us would go, "Man, I have this really cool idea that I want to put this thing together, or whatever it is." Um, and maybe pop it up on a podcast episode or YouTube or something like that. Um, and then maybe felt like not like it would be a betrayal, but
Hmm.
but like,
Right,
oh, like if I'm going to do this, I need to do it with Marquise, or you'd be like, if I'm going to do something, I need to do it with Nate. And, and again, we've both given each other kind of the okay to
right.
be like, hey, look, it's not going to hurt my feelings if you want to do whatever it is. Kind of on my side of things, I mentioned doing the band thing. I've met some fantastic people just within the past year. I assembled the band in February. We didn't start gigging until around June. And we did 7 or 8 shows last year. So in 6 months, I mean, we were averaging a gig a month. So, between playing live and rehearsing and all that kind of stuff, that took some time, and we're finally kind of getting into where we're kind of on cruise control a little bit. So I'm getting some bandwidth back for extracurricular uh, activities such as what we're doing right now. Um, but there was a time when we were doing the podcast interviews like every week.
Hmm.
And then we decided to kind of take a break for the summer, and then it was like, oh, maybe we'll come back in the fall.
Oh
And
yeah.
that was largely due to because we were leaning in really heavily on the interview stuff, and that well was kind of running dry, largely just because again people's schedules, and you and I were trying to mesh our schedules and then try to find time to have a guest and all that stuff. So things get nutty. So what I'm going to do with having the people that I've met um, is just really go all in on having some of these people on the show. Um, and you'll be able to join when you're able to, and if you're not, you're not, and that's not going to be a big deal. But maybe have some venue owners on the show as part of our band's mission. We have this thing called Metal with a Mission, and we've partnered with several organizations that help people either through counseling or try to escape addictions through substance abuse addictions, or we have an organization that we partner with that actually helps women and some men who find themselves in these situations. But statistically, it's women who are experiencing domestic violence and don't know how to escape that. And the last episode we did, we had Molly from that
Mm,
organization,
yeah, that was good.
the Hope United Survivor Network. So as I've met these people through the past year, and it kind of hit me one day, it's like the podcast interview episodes are starting to write themselves. The well is filling back up, and I want to take advantage of that and help give these people a voice and help them to tell their story. And it's not always going to be something as super serious as people trying to escape domestic violence. It might just be, hey, I'm in this band and this is how it all started. And kind of like we had our friend Brad on one of the earlier episodes last year, who's in the Maiden Voyage Iron Maiden tribute
Mhm.
band, which was a large reason why I decided to start my own tribute band. Um, so you've got people who just have something cool to tell. Yeah, it might not
Yeah,
be life changing, but maybe it's going to be encouraging to somebody who's thinking about doing something similar. I'm and You and I are also kind of dipping our toes in the waters of AI and
oh
just
yeah,
just having fun with all that. So I have a couple air quotes AI bands.
yeah, and they
Some
awesome.
AI persona out there, and I don't have the means to, or really neither of us really have the means to have some full blown home studio or anything where we can take the time to record all these different parts of songs um and sometimes I find myself like I have an idea in my head, but I can't quite translate it
Mhm.
to the guitar, or I don't have a drum set, so I can't do drum parts anyway. So AI has been kind of fun to mess around with, and
No, absolutely. That's what
just
I use for most of my, I mean, well, when I on my Sunday service show that I
yeah,
have on my YouTube, my intro, I mean, I'm heavy in AI because like you're saying, it's just something that it enhances my ability to do what I'm doing. You
yeah,
know, it just,
yep. It's a
it gives me
supplement.
the,
It's not a
yeah, it gives
replacement.
it actually it makes me more creative because now I have all of
Yeah,
these different ideas in my head that I want to try, and I have this platform to try it on. I mean, it just, so, and that was another thing that I'm going to, be adding to the network is like you just said, the AI things, and graphic wise, we're going to
yeah.
be showing, different clips and stuff like that that I want to try to introduce and just have different types of fun with it. But yeah, you were absolutely right though. That's great.
Yeah, and there have been times where I've wanted to write some original material, and I'm not that great of a lyric writer at all, and I can come up with musical parts. And this is kind of how it started. I was like, I actually had this song that I wrote about a year ago or so, and wasn't quite sure what kind of music could go with it, so I just put it in an AI music generator, and it spit something out, and I was like, oh man, that actually sounds pretty good. I was like, this has no business sounding this good.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Because I heard that, and my first thing is, and this is the funny part, which I don't understand the people. Well, anyway, we get into that later. But you gotta you write music.
Yeah,
You have an album already. You play an instrument, but you use AI.
yeah,
Some people just think people use AI because they want an easy way out. No,
right,
there's some intelligent, smart musicians that's using AI, and it's very helpful.
exactly. It's a lot of major artists have songwriters. There are very few touring artists out there like the Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande type of performer that are actually singing songs that they wrote. I mean, Taylor Swift does, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So,
oh, absolutely.
there's as long and this is for anything, because I mean I use AI professionally as well, because there'll be some times I need to run some type of code or something, and I'm not really that great of a programmer, if a programmer at all. Um, so it saves me time trying to find a solution for a problem. And it's the same with music. If I'm stuck on how I even envision a song to go, if I've got the lyrics but I don't have the music, or vice versa, AI's kind of really helped me to get over that hump, to not have a writer's block, or if nothing else, just to have something that's a fun creative outlet. I can sit on my couch and use an AI music generator and say, here are the words, and I want it done in this genre. And I'm learning to get better with the prompts, because you can even tell it, like, sing this part softly, sing this part louder, this part needs to be spoken, harmonize on this part. You start to actually build a song, and I can do that from my couch and have something that's fun to listen to. Now, it'd be different if I was posting it somewhere and saying, "Hey, I recorded this song."
Yeah, this is
That's
me.
Yeah, that's different. That's like plagiarizing.
Pretty much, yeah.
I can't copy paste someone else's book and put my name on it and say, "Hey guys, I wrote a book." That's not what's going on here. So I've got a couple AI personas out there where, like, I'm taking some of my kids' music and putting it to different.
Songs that you actually wrote,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
and
you're
that
putting it to AI.
the songs that I have written and performed and
Mhm.
recorded with real instruments. And then I go, well, I wonder what it'd be like if this song was a country song, or this song was R&B or something. So
That's
like
interesting.
I'm gonna kind of do some different genres of music that I already have. And then another persona I've got is called Domain Mainframe. And I am just in love with synthwave and lo-fi music. It takes me back to a time of being young and, just watching these 80s movies that just have the cheesy, like Tron sounding soundtracks to
Hmm.
them.
Oh man.
Or like John Carpenter horror kind of, just real, like you hear that and you go, man, that's 80s. That is just 80s all the way. But I'm not you're right. I I'm not a good key player. I mean, I played piano a million years ago, but I don't. I've tried to make my own synth wave, and it is horrible. But
Well, maybe
AI,
that type of what you're talking about can jumpstart that for you.
yeah, and I've made some AI synthwave stuff that's been pretty cool in my opinion. And I go, man, I can never. Not that I could never make it, but like I just don't have the time. I don't have the equipment. I don't. My kind of like musical brain process doesn't really comprehend how to do all that stuff and get all the timings and the loops
Yeah,
and all that
that's like,
stuff.
you know what? I'm thinking about it. I'm listening as I hear you. That's like me and jazz.
Yeah,
I have so much jazz loops and and break beats and stuff like that and samples because I know I can't be in a jazz band, but I want to make that sound myself and I want to be able to emulate that, and just to be able to without having to say, hey, have someone with drums or I can
right.
play by ear to maybe get by, but not be great at it. And I want a great sound like I'm listening to, like you got a playlist on iTunes. I want to make music like that.
Yeah, and I trying to do those things myself. Um, it would just get frustrating because again, I'd have this idea in my head. It's kind of like when you want to draw something, and if you're not that great at drawing, you see it in your head, and you're like, I'm going to put this pencil to paper, and it's going to show up. And then you look at your paper, and you're like, what? That doesn't. That's nowhere near the vision I had. But if I can, it's just all, again, what we're talking about here is just having a creative outlet and getting some of this stuff we have in our heads out on quote unquote paper and sharing it with people. And
Hmm.
that's it's fun, And again, if we can churn something out that we're proud of, regardless of how long it takes. I mean, Marquise, you as a lawn professional have to deal with this mentality a lot.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, I do.
You're doing somebody's yard and they come out and they're like, "Man, that didn't take you very long." And you go, "Well, first of all, I've been doing this for 20 plus years. So
Yeah,
if it takes me a long time, maybe I'm not that great at my job." But second of all, you know, how do you know how long it should take? You know,
yeah,
and we've always said it's not until somebody starts paying for something that they start caring about it. So, and you're also, I mean, this is a huge tangent, but you're also dealing with people who they live there and they're used to getting up on a Saturday and spending all day in their yard and cutting it and edging and weeding and all that kind of stuff. So when they see you come and you're there for 15 minutes, they're like, "Whoa, wait a second.
hmm,
I'm out in my yard for 3 hours on a Saturday morning." But you're also doing something specific, and there's a certain you have kind of a cadence to
right.
how you're supposed to
Yeah, and
treat somebody's yard. It's all about timing and all that stuff,
oh,
or else you're
absolutely.
you're gonna cook someone's yard.
Yeah, I'm not mowing or edging or cutting. I just walk through. It's an easy thing, easy process.
Yeah,
And that's actually why since we on that subject, you brought that up. I think I will be sharing some turf information to our network because I'm sure there's people out there that have interesting have uh can want to know more about different things about turf and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna
yeah.
bring a little turf segment
Oh yeah.
to the show.
Call it getting down and dirt. tea.
No, but okay. Um, oh, I see where you're going with it.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll work on a name. It won't be that, but we'll
Today
work
we're
on
going to talk about grass.
it. Yeah,
Not that
all
kind of
type,
grass.
not that type of grass, but grass.
Um, so yeah, and I think I don't know if we've spoken about this on any episode, but we've certainly talked about it personally. Like you and I just we have so many ideas, and it's been like I don't want to do just one thing. I don't want to just do interviews. I don't want to just you don't want to just do your Sunday service YouTube thing. There's all this stuff we have and all these ideas, and these things don't necessarily have to happen weekly. We
Right.
learned that doing um, interview episodes weekly kind of you quickly run out of gas. Um, but we also didn't want to do just like one podcast interview a month, and then what are we doing the other 3 weeks? Well, now we have all these other ideas. Maybe I'll debut an AI song. Maybe you can share your Sunday service stuff, or your down and dirty segments.
Don't say that no more.
um, I'm still doing the but when I get them, like the guitar kit reviews that I get from Pango Music. But those kits don't come to me regularly enough for me to have something every week. Um, and another thing that I'm possibly thinking about doing is, one of my favorite shows within the past few years has been Apple TV's Severance. Um, and we talk
Good
about
show.
some pop culture stuff on here every now and again. So I was like, well, season 2 is getting ready to start in a couple weeks. What if I just do a series on that show and maybe have some people on and talk about their thoughts and opinions? Because that if you haven't seen that show, you definitely need to watch it because
Oh yeah,
it
I
makes
do.
you
I like it.
think
I watch
like
it. Hmm?
that it is insane. But maybe kind of delving into the TV movie review kind of stuff. I was talking to my mom a couple weeks ago. And somehow Star Wars came up, and she was like, "I've never seen any of those movies," and I was like, "Huh, idea for a segment."
Yep. There you go.
Not just to do some segments with my mom, but maybe other people who have never seen some movie or never heard a certain album or artist or whatever, and kind of get to relive that first time, that first experience with something through somebody else. So this episode is obviously all over the place, and and
No, but
that's fine.
actually, I do have an idea for a name though.
Uh-oh.
Um, uh, Something like AI introduced because we did go heavy on that, and I think that's
Yeah.
something that that can be highlighted even if it's not edited to where it's at the beginning, it's
Yeah.
still going to come up. But I think that's a good eye catcher, and I kind of like that a little bit. I like how everything was going. May take out a little bit or whatever. I don't know how you can figure that out, but
I think we're just gonna let it ride.
yeah,
We're
just
gonna
let
let
it
it ride,
ride. We're
people.
gonna let it ride. This is
This is what it's
all
gonna be like.
natural. This is like me in the '70s with my fro, all
Oh yeah.
natural.
So glow. Um, yeah. So all that to say, we've got a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of change that's going to happen, and I think it's going to be really good. And Marquise, for you and I think we kind of broke that ceiling. We were kind of getting to this point of almost like creative frustration. Like, where do we go from here? We kind of felt like we did what we came to do, but we weren't ready to be done. Um, so we've kind of, and it may not sound like it, but we've kind of roped in some of these key ideas that you and I have collectively and have figured out how we're going to be able to um, let you, the listener, or the viewer, experience some of these things that we're doing that we want to share with you. So we're very excited about that.
Yes, we are indeed. So as we continue on, this is going to be something new and challenging. But
Yeah.
again, like I said, guys, we here. We ain't going nowhere.
And, I think before we kind of felt like we were disappointing people and ourselves by saying, hey, every Wednesday or every Friday, we're going to have an episode. And then something would happen and we wouldn't be able to do it. And then we'd be like, oh, we felt like we're letting people down. So this time around, uh, who knows? Who knows when stuff will come
Yeah.
out?
Who knows?
There might be a week where you get a YouTube video, a podcast interview, and an AI album release, and then there might be a week where nothing happens, and then the next week maybe one thing will happen. So we just urge you to keep up with on the website or any of our socials, YouTube channel, that kind of stuff, and just make sure you've set all the triggers and alarms and notifications for whenever anything comes out, you'll know about it. But I think we've realized it's just unrealistic for us to put a hard stop on when something is going to come out. And if one of us has an idea and we cook something up and we put it on YouTube or whatever, and we want it to go live that day or the next day, and it's like a Tuesday, we're just going to do it.
Yeah,
we
gonna do it.
This isn't with the podcasts and YouTubers that put stuff out on a regular schedule. They're able to do that because that's their job. That they've got the time and the bandwidth to.
Oh, trust me, if we got to that point, y'all gonna know because it's
That's
gonna be an episode coming out just about every single day with us weirdos.
Yep. But I think we've discovered that, man, that's just not a reality right now. And it's too easy to talk yourself out of doing something when you have that hard stop. Because if it gets to be Wednesday or Thursday, Marquise and you and I'd be like, oh, we just don't have time to get together and record an episode. Well, we just wouldn't put something out that week.
Yeah.
But now with both of us kind of dividing and conquering when we're able to and putting out these various ideas, I mean, this is basically going to kind of become a stream of consciousness kind of thing. It's like something will just pop up when it pops up because one of us had an idea and we wanted to share it.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a great way to move forward. I guess that's it, Marquise.
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
So check us out.
Yep.
Always check us out at echospective.com, where you can get all of our things that we're about to accomplish. And again, check us out. Send us a message. Buy us a coffee. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all of that.
Yeah.
Just hang in there with us, guys. We're going to get it together.
Yeah.
But have fun with us.
Yeah. It's going to be fun and interesting, and everyone's going to go along for the ride. They're going to see how the sausage is made a lot of times, and that might be pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Well, that's it for this first episode of 2025 Echospective. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Peace.
The Echospective podcast is a production of Mockingbird Studios with Nathan Sieg and Marquise Burke. We'd like to take this time to thank all of our listeners, our friends and family for your support. Echospective Podcast!